Good morning, students. So, in our last class, we have started the fifth chapter from your party book, which is named as Fair Play. And from in that class, we have finished the first few paragraphs from this chapter. Now, after this, let me read out the next few paragraphs for all of you. For many days, the old lady was seen talking to the villagers, explaining her case and seeking their support. At last, she came to Algu Chaudhry and spoke to him. You know, Chachi, Juman is my best friend. How can I go against him? Said Algu. But is it right, my son, to keep quiet and not say what you consider just and fair? Pleaded the old lady. Come to the panchayat and speak the truth, she said. Algu did not reply, but her words kept ringing in his ears. The panchayat was held in the same evening under an old banyan tree. Juman stood up and said, The voice of the Panch is the voice of God. Let my aunt nominate the head Panch. I will accept her decision. The Panch knows neither friend nor enemy. What do you say to Algu Chaudhry? The old lady announced. Fine, replied Jumman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Jumman, said Algu. I know that, replied the aunt. But I also know that God lives in the heart of Punch and his voice is the voice of God. And the old lady explained her case. Juman said, Algo, you and I are old friends. Now I am a Punch. You and your aunt are equal before me. What do you have to say in your defense? 3 years ago, began Juman, my aunt transferred her property to me. I promised to support her as long as she lived. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. Now, my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. This is not possible. That's all I have to say. Jumman was questioned in the panchayat by Algu and others. Then Algu announced, We have gone into the matter carefully. In our opinion, Jumman must pay his aunt a monthly allowance or else the property goes back to her. So, student, this is the story. Now let me give you a short summary of these few paragraphs that I have read today. So in the last class, we learned at last that Jumman's aunt, she became very much angry and decided to take her case to the village panchayat. Now let's start with today's topic. So after that incident, Jumman's aunt, she talked to different villagers, explaining her case and seeking their support. But no one listened to her, and at last she went to Algu Chaudhry. But Algu said to him that you know that Juman is my friend, and that's why I cannot go against him. But the old lady, she told Algu that is it right to keep quiet and not to say what is right or wrong? She pleaded uh, Algu to come to the panchayat and speak the truth in front of everyone. Algu, he didn't reply to her, but her words kept ringing in his ears. Then the panchayat was held in that evening, on that same evening only, under a banyan tree. Jumman then stood up and said to everyone that let his aunt nominate the head punch, as he know that the voice of the punch is the voice of God, and he will accept the decision of the punch. Then his aunt nominated Algu Chaudhry as the head punch. After seeing that she had nominated Algu, Jumman was overjoyed as he knew that Algu was his friend and he will never go against him. Then the aunt, Algu at first told the aunt that he knows the friendship between Jumman and Algu, but why did she still nominated him? So the aunt told Algu that God lives in the heart of Panch, and as now he has been nominated by the Chachi, so now his voice will be the voice of God and she will accept the voice of God. Then the lady explained her case. After that, Jumman was asked by Algu, was told by Algu that now, as he is a punch, so he, that is Jumman, and his aunt are equal in front of his eyes. Then he also told Jumman to tell or explain the case from his side. And then Jumman also explained his case in front of the panchayat. She told everyone that his aunt transferred her property to him and he promised to give support as long as she lived to her. But after that there are so many quarrels between Jumman's wife and her, and he had nothing to do with it. And now Jumman's aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from him as it is not possible for him to give. After listening to him, Jumman was being questioned by the panchayat, by Algu and some other punchs. Then at last, Algu decided the result of the hearing of the case that Jumman must pay a monthly allowance to his aunt or return back her property to her. So this much we have discussed today, students, and we got to know that Algu Chaudhry, he did not care about his friend, but he stood by the truth. So students, what do you think? That did he do a good thing or a wrong one? Is it good to support the truth or is it good to only support your friendship? It is up to you, but let me tell you that student, friendship or other relation doesn't matter. The only thing matter is the truth. So student, now let me give you the important word meanings from these few paragraphs, and they are: number 1 is pleaded, which means making an emotional appeal or begging. The number 2 is panch, which means member of the panchayat. The number C is transfer, which means shift or pass on or change. Then the last one is allowance, which means a sum of money paid regularly to someone to meet expenses or needs. So student, these are the few important word meanings from this few paragraphs. And student, this is also the end of our today's class. And what happened after this, we shall read it tomorrow. As for now, student, thank you so much.